a very relaxed environment. Everybody is enjoying themselves. Creates an environment where you can really get to know these folks on a personal level, and so it's very impactful for me.
I wanted to identify what we do in the name, hence Breakfast Republic. Limited hours, heavy emphasis on alcohol, fun in every aspect of the restaurant, including the design.
A lot of inspiration sort of starts in the fine dining world and eventually finds its way to the casual world. People don't order a lot of matzo ball pozole. Every single person that writes about food writes about that dish. To have 1 or 2% of your menu that exists solely for buzz is fine. I was lucky to go on Top Chef and do some Food Network stuff. There will never be another Guy Fieri. There's 1,000 Michael Jacksons now and 1,000 Madonna. And you got to carve out your smaller little space. Finding the one thing that I just think people thought was delicious that no one was really doing. I do think that that's really important. This is the original location of Crack Shack, and we decided let's do a chicken and egg concept. The first day that we opened up, the line stretched into the back parking lot. Quite honestly, the lines haven't stopped.
Robust flavors, really well done, and that's where the name Urban Wood really came from for us. It's cooking on hot, beautiful wood with just simple, robust herbs and acid, all right? We use a lot of very bright notes to enhance the food so that your palate doesn't really fall asleep during the meal, but yet gets more inspired and more awake. You're like, whoa! Building these one-offs, these cool, amazing one-offs are fun, but at the end of the day, they're not the most profitable thing there is. Can I control the quality? Can I control what is done? I don't have an exact science like a lot of the larger chain restaurants have. And that consistency is one of the hardest things to achieve.
Partnered up with actually the Natural History Museum of San Diego, and that's where we got a lot of these exotic animals from.
We like to cook on open flame. We're getting a lot of smoke really fast. We're getting the char really fast. You're imparting like an amazing amount of flavor in a really short amount of time. We're trying to offer something different, something that's not seen at like every restaurant in the neighborhood.
This tradition of tiki here in San Diego is rich. It's very common for bartenders to put a tiki cocktail on their menu. All of this has been collected over time. You sit down in this space, wandering eyes and finding new things.
We have 4 different mushrooms going at the same time. We have the substrate in the plastic bottles. We use no soil, no manures, animal feed as a nutrient, corn cups as the media to hold the water.
We have been around for almost 22 years, and in order to make sure that all 50 states, over 30 different countries are getting our beer, we need to develop these other locations. Stone IPA is our top seller. That beer is brewed in Berlin, brewed on the East Coast in our location in Richmond, Virginia, and it's also brewed here in Escondido, meaning that that beer needs to be kept the exact same no matter what location it is coming from.
All of the flavors, tasting everything that's happening out here on the West Coast. It's been an incredible trip.
The dine around's been amazing, all good collaboration and kind of like an ideation amongst ourselves.
We have what we call a We Love You, and that can be anywhere from 10% to 20% off a bill, buy a cocktail, and that's really created a lot of our regular business. So when we open a new spot, everyone who's been following us along the way ends up booking up our restaurant for a couple months before we even get started, just from that loyalty alone. So we've taken that money we'd spent on advertising and just given it back to people.
Having deep conversations about structural integrity in the business, how they structure their R&D programs, how they stay on top of what's happening in the culinary world.
Seeing what the chefs themselves are thinking, what they're working on, is also very helpful for us to identify where our opportunities are.
Talking with colleagues from around the country, that's really my favorite part of it. But the food's been fantastic. They got a great culinary scene here. They have a bunch of really creative chefs doing unique stuff.
There's certain contacts that we haven't made in the past, and getting back to our team and letting them know who we met and who we should get to know a little bit more and hopefully do business with.